Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Kathy Jacobson. I'm the founder of modesofemotion.com. And
I'm Julie Johnson. I'm one of the coaches at modesofemotion.com.
one of our awesome coaches, I might add.
Thank you.
Today, modesofemotion.com, that we believe that emotions are energy, energy is power, and therefore emotions are power. And so we want to talk about coaching in relationship to personal power and how we can become more powerful, more in our own power through coaching. You've been the client for a while. What would you say has been your greatest value?
For many years, actually, I've been a client. And I would say I was having a conversation actually with another friend of mine who's also worked with you for years. And she was sharing a story about kind of a trigger um, and something that in the past has happened related to her work that has caused her tremendous distress. And we were reflecting on how coaching has impacted our life. And I think the greatest takeaway that we realized and shared with each other is that it really has minimized our suffering.
So, what do you think the relationship is between pain and suffering?
Well, as we talk about a lot with our model, pain is the message and suffering is the story.
So, I want to interrupt your story for a minute because we just had a really interesting experience on a hike. And I got something in my shoe. And so I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but I knew something was in my shoe. And so I stopped and looked for it and shook out something that was in my shoe, put my shoe back on. We hike a little bit further. I know we didn't get it. So we stopped again and we looked in the shoe, couldn't find anything. You looked in my sock and found a sticker. So we put my shoes back on. And I think it's really important to look at the pain that we experience as a message. And the message was, in my case, stop doing this. And so I did. I stopped hiking and took care of the source of the pain. And so when we apply this to your story and what happened with your friend, what what did you do? What did she do?
You know, the pain being the messages will continue to come. And it's not that we can ever stop pain from entering our lives, but what we can do through the work and working with coaches and this practice is become more aware of the pain and the messaging
Mhm.
more quickly, and and then have different tools around how to handle that. Um, and when I'm working with clients in my acupuncture practice, I often say to them, how quickly do you pick up on the message? Because the volume of that pain will sometimes turn up and just get louder if we don't recognize it. So, how loud do you need that messaging to get before you're saying something's not right?
And I think this is where we can start looking at pain as an ally, that the message is important. And this doesn't mean just physical pain. It doesn't mean just spiritual pain. It's any kind of pain. And what do we do with it? And how do we make it our ally in order to diminish the suffering?
And I think step one is to notice and acknowledge the pain.
Noticing it comes first. And lots of times it's easy to ignore the message. We can go on with a lot of pain happening in our bodies or in our lives and tolerate it and dismiss it and reject it instead of listen to it.
And we can go back to your story of the uh, sticker in your shoe, and you're feeling this and noticing it as we're hiking, saying there's something happening in my shoe, and pulled over and took your shoe off and shook it out, and then put your shoe back on and kept going. Well, it didn't get the sticker,
It
right?
didn't get the sticker.
So the pain keeps coming, and it's realizing, oh, further investigation. I have to take a step a little farther here. So pull back over, take your shoe off, take your sock off. I have to look to help you find it. So sometimes there's a deeper investigation that's required, and that message just keeps coming. So
And the
what do we
message
do?
will keep coming.
Right. And what do we do then?
Well, one of the things that I've found to be really important is just to name what it is. And, in the case of a sticker in the shoe, it's really easy to say, there's something in my shoe. It's harder when it's an emotional pain. But if we think about anger, fear, resentment, jealousy, heartache, we can when we name it, it means we are seeing it. It's like saying to the pain, I see you, and your name is annoyance, or your name is anger. And if we can name it, then it is our ally.
So we recognize, fully acknowledge it, name it,
Hmm.
own it.
And let's talk about owning it a little bit because that is difficult. It's difficult to say, this stone is mine. I'm the only one that can take it out of my shoe. This heartache is mine. I'm the one that is affected by it. I'm maybe the only one that's affected by it, and therefore it's mine. And it's mine to deal with.
And I think when we talk and speak about personal power, it's really that ownership of it, right? That brings us into our own personal power to do something about it.
Yes. And this is often where having a coach makes all the difference because it's difficult to notice it and name it. And it's extremely difficult to be able to say, no, this belongs to me. It's not anybody else's fault. It's not anybody else's pain. And a coach comes with unconditional acceptance and neutrality and doesn't have an attachment to whatever is access accessing, interrupting, disrupting your life. The coach can help you find your own perspective by asking the right questions and providing the best tools.
I agree. And thereby helping to minimize suffering. And I'll circle back to my story, my conversation with my friend who said, I'm still triggered by the same things, and the
Mhm.
same emotions still arise in terms of upset or rejection. But she said, I just don't spend as much time in that space.
Mm.
And I think that is really powerful for her. She said, and she's an artist, and that she received a rejection on something she'd submitted. And she said in the past that it would have taken a couple of weeks to really kind of dig myself out of that. And she said, in this case, I spent about an hour upset and, handling that rejection, but not remaining in the space of agitation and discomfort and what we would call, victim or interpreter type of emotions.
And that is where the fourth tool comes in, and that is choosing what we want to feel instead, choosing what we want to experience instead, choosing and being in our power.
Exactly.
So, we have a couple of things that we can offer you at no cost to you go to our website, modesofemotion.com, and subscribe to our offering called The Fountain, which is a twice weekly inspirational message. They're usually short, usually a couple of minutes to read. And if you subscribe to that, we will send you a copy of my book, Choosing Happiness 30 Days to a Life You'll Love. So please like this video if it's helpful to you, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until we meet again, look at the world with wonder and at yourself with warmth.
Thanks, y'all.